What if luck isn't something you're given, but something that shows up when enough things happen in the right order? Not fate, not destiny, just life lining things up in a way that feels personal when it lands on you. Luck feels real because it happens to us. When something unlikely happens in your life, it doesn't feel random. It feels targeted. It feels like it meant something. And the reason it feels that way has a lot to do with how your brain works. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the world. It's built to look for patterns and connections. That ability helped humans survive. If something dangerous happened once after a certain sound or movement, it was safer to assume the two were linked. The brain learned to connect events quickly, even if the connection wasn't perfect. That same system still runs today. When two events line up in a surprising way, your brain reacts instantly. It flags the moment as important. It feels meaningful before you ever stop to think about numbers or chance. You don't experience it as probability, you experience it as something happening to you. This is why lucky moments stand out so strongly. You remember the rare times things work out in a surprising way. You don't remember the thousands of normal moments where nothing special happened. You remember the time you thought about someone and they suddenly messaged you. You don't remember all the times you thought about someone and nothing followed. Your brain isn't being dramatic, it's being selective. It keeps what feels important and drops what feels ordinary. That's how it avoids overload. Emotion makes this even stronger. If a coincidence happens during a moment when you're stressed, hopeful, sad, or excited, it sticks harder. The feeling wraps itself around the event. Later, when you remember it, the emotion comes back too. That makes the moment feel bigger than it really was. But here's something most people don't think about. Unlikely events don't need a reason to happen. They only need enough chances. This is where probability comes in. Probability doesn't tell you when something will happen. It tells you how often something should happen across many attempts. A rare event doesn't mean impossible. It just means uncommon per try. Now think about how many chances exist in everyday life. Every time you leave the house, talk to someone, send a message, miss a train, take a different route, or make a small decision, you create new possible outcomes. Most of those outcomes lead nowhere interesting. A few line up in ways you notice. And when billions of people are doing this every single day, rare outcomes stop being rare at the world level. They're expected. Someone will win something. Someone will meet the right person by chance. Someone will avoid something bad by missing it. To the person it happens to, it feels shocking. To the math, it's normal. This idea is explained by something called the law of large numbers. It simply means that when you repeat something enough times, even rare results are guaranteed to show up eventually. Not at a specific moment, but somewhere, sometime. We tend to forget how many chances there are for coincidence. We focus on the moment it happened, not on the huge number of moments that came before it. That's why luck feels special. But probability still doesn't explain everything. There's another layer underneath all of this. Randomness is real. At the smallest level of reality, things don't behave in neat, predictable ways. In quantum physics, particles don't have exact paths or positions. Their behavior can only be described in terms of chances. Some events don't have a fixed outcome until they actually happen. This isn't because scientists haven't figured it out yet. As far as we know, randomness is built into the universe. And it doesn't stay small. These tiny random events affect chemistry. Chemistry affects biology. Biology affects brains. Brains affect decisions and behavior. Small, unpredictable changes can slowly grow into real-life outcomes. Random changes help drive mutations. Brain activity includes natural variation and noise. Even the exact timing of thoughts isn't perfectly fixed. There's always a bit of unpredictability mixed in. Some scientists think what we call luck is this randomness showing up in everyday life. Tiny uncertainty at the base of reality gets amplified into moments that feel surprising or meaningful to us. But randomness still doesn't explain why small moments can completely change a life. That's where chaos comes in. Chaos doesn't mean disorder, it means sensitivity. In chaotic systems, very small differences at the start can lead to very different outcomes later on. Weather is a good example. A tiny change in air pressure can eventually shift where a storm ends up. Ecosystems behave the same way. Traffic systems do too, and so do human lives. This idea is often called the butterfly effect. A small cause leads to a large outcome, not because of magic, but because the system keeps reacting to itself. Your life works like this. A short delay can change who you sit next to. A missed message can change whether two paths cross. A casual conversation can open a door you didn't know was there. Once the chain starts, each step affects the next. These events aren't planned. They aren't pure randomness either. They're the result of many things interacting at once. Probability sets the background, randomness adds variation, chaos amplifies small differences. This is why life feels unpredictable even though it follows rules. Many moments people describe as fate are really the result of these chains. Two lives crossing at one point in time. If either path had been slightly different, the moment wouldn't have happened at all. That doesn't make it meaningless. It explains why it was rare, and rarity feels powerful. When you look at luck in real life, it never comes from one thing. It comes from layers working together. Where you are, who you meet, what you try, what you skip, what you follow up on. None of these are fully under your control, but none of them are completely separate from you either. This is where luck and effort start to blend. People who seem lucky often place themselves in situations where more things can happen. They talk to more people, they try more paths, they move through the world in a way that creates more chances. That doesn't guarantee good outcomes, but it increases the number of times something unexpected can work out. Studies show that people who believe they're lucky tend to act differently. They notice opportunities more, they're more open to new situations, they're more willing to engage. That behavior quietly increases the number of positive outcomes they experience. Not because belief controls reality, but because belief shapes behavior. Luck isn't separate from choice, it's tangled up with it. You can't control randomness, you can't control chaotic systems, but you can control how often you step into uncertainty. And this leads to the biggest shift of all. Luck isn't something that happens to you. It's something you name after the fact. It's the story you tell once an outcome has already happened. From the inside, life feels uncertain and messy. From the outside, it looks meaningful and connected. Science doesn't take that meaning away. It explains where it comes from. When you understand luck through probability, randomness, and chaos, uncertainty becomes less scary. It stops feeling like something working against you and starts feeling like space where things can change. A world with no luck would be fixed, predictable. Nothing surprising would ever break through. Uncertainty is what allows growth, movement, and new paths to exist at all. Your life is shaped by things you couldn't plan and things you chose anyway. Both matter. Neither tells the full story. Do you believe in luck or science? Comment your thoughts down below and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.